Why can't states like California count votes as quickly as Florida? And can't we get back to where most balloting takes place on Election Day like it once did? Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Our election system in several states is broken, with results of many critical races still unknown. We still don't know for sure which party will control the House of Representatives, this a week after Election Day. Yes, certain contests are close, but in a number of California congressional districts, barely half the votes have been tallied. In fact, the words Election Day are misleading. Balloting in many areas starts a month or more before Election Day, and given particular mail-in voting rules, doesn't end until well after Election Day. For a fair and highly efficient election process, Florida is the model, the gold standard for election management. It's the third most popular state in the country, and along with Texas, the fastest growing. Nonetheless, the ballots in the Sunshine State were all counted within hours after the polls closed. No fuss, no big court challenges. Florida enacted important reforms after the fiasco of the 2000 presidential election, where its sloppy procedures and badly designed ballot led to protracted litigation and the notorious hanging chads. Afterwards, the state cleaned up its act with several reform bills. In Florida, for instance, a mail-in ballot must be received by 7 p.m. on Election Day. No controversy about postmarks. The counting of mail-ins begin 22 days before Election Day, and the count must be completed within 30 minutes after polls are closed. Some states don't even start the count until Election Day itself. Turnout is helped by having numerous voting places in Florida. Aside from the inexcusable slow counting in places like California and Arizona, another thing that stands out, particularly after the pandemic, is how extended the voting process is now. The purpose of having an election day is that voters make decisions about particular candidates and issues at a given time. The whole point of a campaign is for candidates to make their cases to voters. Early voting, especially where it can start in September, makes a mockery of the campaign process. It puts underdogs and lesser-known candidates at a disadvantage. Often, aspirants create momentum as Election Day nears. But now, it's not an anomaly for a candidate to win the balloting on Election Day, but still lose the election. Candidate debates seem to be a thing of the past, where at most you get one verbal contest. In Pennsylvania, a telling debate for the U.S. Senate race was held well after hundreds of thousands of ballots had already been cast. While early voting via mail-in ballots is entrenched in many states, the time it begins should be minimized to 2 to 3 weeks before Election Day itself, and states should not send out ballots to one and all like Nevada does, which invites fraud. Mail-in ballots should be specifically requested. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.